preseason last night in the game week, how would you assess how far you guys have come the last month?
We've come a long ways. I like where we're at. I think we've shown really good consistency day to day. And I like the group. I like the group a lot. Obviously we've got to go out there and execute, make the plays when they're there.
Ready when you guys are.
You never know what a game day will look like as far as the rotation. You have a plan, but you got to be ready to adapt and adjust. And that'll be what it comes down to, right? Just bringing what we've done, trust what we've done, and bring it to a Saturday game day experience.
How has Cam Riley been an asset at linebacker, and how impressed are you by how quickly he kind of got up to speed?
Yeah, I tried to stay in touch with him throughout the recruiting process. I tried to act like he was already here the best we could. And he's played for a lot of different coaches, and he's a bright young man. So when you add that all in, there's a portion that you go through of, okay, I've done this before, I've played it like this before, and then integrating that on how we're managing it, how we're communicating it. And I think he's done a really nice job. I think we're still waiting to see his true personality because he's trying not to make a mistake, but the ability to play fast is still showing up. And so just the reps mounting on top of each other, he fits really well within how we want it to look, and I got confidence in him.
What kind of look is the scout team giving? Somebody like Trevor seems like a really nice benefit for you guys to be able to see an athlete like that.
Yeah, I think everything matters, Corey, when you put this team together. And I thought B.J. Gibson's doing a good job for us. Mackay, Danzy's giving us some speed, and you're demanding of your defense to go. It's not about the scout team. You set the tone of practice, but it is natural, right? Because at the end of the day, you got to cover the guy whatever speed he is. You can't play faster than him, and that's not coverage. So, but it helps when you have, and that just shows the depth of our football team. And so that's the constant build of the depth chart, from top to bottom. It does. I feel good speed by that scout team.
On the depth of the defense, how pleased were you with how they came along throughout the preseason, especially some younger guys getting the lines, KJ Sampson in the middle?
I mean, you always want more, right? And you can watch Azaria go operate, and he's, you see the growth. But then your eyes go right to, Ricky Knight got here in June, and you're trying to clean, and then he makes a play, and then you go and watch Charles Lester on punt pressure, and you're never totally there with everybody, and you're constantly trying to push the level for the group collectively, but then each individual, and so it's constant work in progress. So to say I'd be pleased would be limiting, but I do feel growth.
I presume you feel confidence in having a lot of numbers in the sense of guys you can run out there and trust.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you could play anywhere from 20 to 25 guys in the course of a game on defense? Do you feel that good with the depth to start the
20, I would say we're probably close. I think we were around 21 last year, actual playing. And so you really end up having 13 or 14 true starters because of base, nickel, and dime. So right away, however that plays. And then D-line, you basically have co-starters because of how much effort it takes to roll the reps. You always add another backer in. You're adding a third corner, third safety. So you just break it down. That's why depth charts are difficult because, guys, there's a lot of co-starters out there just from a rotational standpoint. So I think to play at the level that we need to, you're looking at that magic number of about 20 to 21 to playing real snaps.
Do you feel like Blake and Justin have come along enough that you feel very confident about them starting the season and not being kind of overwhelmed in the moment? I guess there's going to be certain butterflies that just come with that.
Yeah, I mean, Corey, they're going to be put out there. And so that we're doing that because we feel confidence, not because we just need them to go out there. So they're going to have to go do it, but all signs on that field make us feel confident that they'll go execute.
Norman was a little bit limited for you guys at the beginning of camp. How kind of maybe assess where he's gone last week and a half?
Yeah, he's back to full speed now. Just mounting the reps. I thought in the spring, the work he was able to put in really helped him gain some foundational, things. So when he was a little bit limited early, not perfect, but we had to adapt and adjust, and now he's back up to full speed. So all those things he's done in the past, all the rehab he did to get back, it all matters.
A.Z. Thomas gets a great deal of praise from the staff. How has he handled the expectations and also his progression just in his time here? What does it say about, guys who buy in and do the full thing?
Yeah, we've had some talented DBs. I think AZ's been one of them. But for him, early in his career, it's just because of his maturity. and his groundedness, you know. And I think at the end of the day, success isn't just about him. And you see that maturity, you see that consistency help him maintain when there's more success. And so I think we're seeing the growth of that.
Tech's offense, I guess that quarterback is most teams is like the straw that stirs that train. How on your keys that you guys have to be to keep a guy like that from things breaking down and big plays occurring and busting?
Well, I mean, they led the ACC in rushing. And then they have a 10-3, 100-meter wideout. And so they're just trying to get you, you know, to kind of chunk a run game. I mean, you can run for 340, 350 against North Carolina, 200 against Georgia, just putting some rushes together, which is going to help them. And anytime you can run the ball, what does that create? Bad eyes, shots in the throw game. And so it's being consistent, making sure your eyes in the right place, make sure you're dominating the front so that we can keep some guys playing in the deep part of the field. I think that's part of the test when you play a team like this. And their willingness to run a quarterback anywhere on the field in any down and distance. Right? Most people, when they have a quarterback in his caliber, aren't willing to run him as much as they're willing to run him, which could put him in jeopardy just from an amount he's carrying the ball. But when you're defending that, when's the time that they're not going to run it? When you say, I'm not sure, or they're not limiting in that way, then it kind of limits you on what fronts and what coverages and how you're trying to attack the offense. There's still ways to attack it, and you got to be very disciplined on what the formation looks are that you want to be aggressive with.
Two more here. Receiver. I mean, they bring back. I think they're at least they're
Top two.
Top two leading receivers. Different.
And the Leary kid is back. Yeah.
Different body size. I mean, they're not big, long rangey guys. But what sort of threat do they pose and match up for?
Yeah, I mean they're down the field shot football team. You know, and whether it's diagonal overs, whether it's condensed sets and deep vertical shots, I think you see their offense become a run action shot offense, and they do a good job formationally. And obviously they got a good quarterback, and they got guys that can hurt you on the perimeter, and they got a veteran offensive line. So I'm sure they're happy with what they have, and you know, it's our job to go out there and play the defense that Florida State deserves to play.
Darrell and Josh haven't had a chance to play together in a game since high school. I mean, for them to have this moment, that friendship, that football friendship too, what are you kind of looking forward to seeing from those two?
Just be part of the team and play and let their growth together help the entire group, you know, because it's not just about Darrell and Josh. It's about how they impact the game individually, collectively, as a D-line, as a whole defense, and what it looks like as teammates. So, you know, they have love for each other. That's undeniable. They have a great history together, and we'll use that as an advantage.
Thanks, Coach.